This video is going to teach you how to stay consistent and balanced and live the life that you want to live, making time for the people you care about and the things you love. I remember as a high school student, I had time for basically nothing. I worked a job, I went to school, had pressure to be like a top student, and I remember it was like school, work, sleep, just going through the motions repeatedly. And I was kind of depressed about it because I knew how fleeting life was and how important and valuable time was, yet I felt like just all I knew was everything was just getting piled and anything I got done, 10 more things are being added. I felt like the to-do list was never ending, and I felt like I never had time to do the things I wanted to do. And I lived my life in stress. But now it's different. I've done a lot of things. I've experimented with a lot of trial and error to see what works for me, and these tips are really what changed everything for me. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you through my day, which I'm really excited about because you'll get to see some behind the scenes of my life. And just take whatever you want from this video. Take whatever you think that, wow, that might work for me. Because granted, I am married, college student, working, all those things, and everyone's in different phases of life. Sure, a lot of this video won't work for someone who's a parent or someone maybe a 9-to-5 job, I don't know. But I do think that despite what phase of life you are in, you could still take a lot from this video. And if you happen to be working and in college and maybe even married, like, congratulations, you found the right spot. So the first thing I will do in the morning is head to the gym, and there I will put the treadmill at an incline and just read for a bit on the treadmill. I really like to do that because it knocks out 2 things at once. And then I'll do a quick ab workout. And then I come back and I will read scripture for like 10 to 20 minutes in the morning, which this leads me into my first tip, which is to have a system/routine for everything. And by everything, I mean a cleaning routine, a morning routine, a night routine, a workout routine, any goals you have. Doing this will make your life feel so much more organized, less stressed with everything. And I'm not trying to convert you into a type A personality here. If that doesn't work for you, don't do it. But for me, that really helps. The second tip I want to give is to learn how to work effectively. Learn how to not procrastinate. I know what you're thinking. That's not possible. It is. I promise you it is. You can become a disciplined person. Discipline is really like a muscle. It can be trained. You can train your mindset to get more done in a smaller amount of time. So I recommend that you get the hardest things done in your to-do list first. And while you focus on them, give all your attention to them. Don't multitask. I could either spend all day going back and forth on an essay, or I could go to a coffee shop, put in some headphones of relaxing music, and knock it out right then and there. As you do this more and more, it will become easier to do it. A side tip I have on procrastination is if you just start something, like tell yourself, only going to do this for 5 minutes. Well, usually when you start something, it's a lot easier to continue it on than it is to start it. You'll usually get in the swing of things and keep going. So learn not to procrastinate. It is possible to build up discipline and to become a more productive person. Okay, now it's time for tip number 3, and this is the most important one I will be telling you today, and that is to have a time in your day where you set down everything to go spend it with God. I remember I used to try to wake up super early and spend time with God, but that didn't work for me. Did not look forward to it. It was kind of burdensome, and I'd often fall asleep because I'm not naturally super awake in the morning. So what I started doing is I thought, I'm going to give God the best time of my day. Whenever I'm most awake is the time I will give to Him. Just pick a favorite time and pick a favorite spot to go every day, something that you enjoy and look forward to. And if you do that consistently, you won't go to those really low places. You cannot obey Jesus without abiding in him. Even Jesus would get away during the day and go find a spot to pray and pray to God and set everything down. And that's what we should be doing every day as well, because we won't have the strength to obey him and live the Christian life without it. It is the number one key. So give the best time of your day to God, find your favorite spot to pray, and do it consistently every day. Make it a normal part of your day to go spend time with him and abide in him, and it will make a difference for the entire rest of your life. So I know my kitchen looks like a bomb. I have a really bad habit of not cleaning up as I go, and I usually just do it all at the end. But this is usually the last thing in my night that requires discipline, that I make sure to get done every single night. And I touched on this briefly in the last tip I said, but for the last tip of this night, tip number 5, it is to know your energy limit and to be realistic with yourself. I think it is really important for me to have a time of the night, which is usually after I clean up from dinner, just to sit down to everything and focus on my husband and to focus on other people and just relaxing. And usually by the end of the day, most people are kind of fatigued anyway, so I think it's really important to have a time to set down everything and just focus on having fun with those you love. So it is the next day, and the tip to start off this day is to get rid of those extras in your life, whether that is physical clutter in your house, because I promise you it is so much easier to keep a place clean if stuff is not crammed everywhere, or whether that is extra to-dos that you really don't have to do but you feel like you have to do. Getting rid of those things will help you focus really on what's important, and it will just keep you in a better state of mind. The next tip I have is to write everything down and to loosely time block your day. Time blocking is a little self-explanatory, but it is when you write down what you think you'll be doing at certain times of the day to roughly plan it out. Hello, I'm back in the gardens, and I'm coming to you with another huge important tip, which is redefine productivity and what that means. And by what this world defines productivity as is how much you could accomplish and how many things you can get done. But really what true productivity is how we live on this earth, loving other people and building relationships with them. You do not want to be the person that the psalmist described as running about in vain your whole life, and what you've lived for in the end really doesn't matter. What really is going to count for eternity is our relationships with other people. So have a people-centered routine, have a people-centered day, have a people-centered mindset, and how you help people, how you love people is really what is productive. And also on top of that, I think a lot of times busyness is really a state of mind, and I find that sometimes our perceived rate of busyness prohibits us from enjoying life around us. And sometimes you just really have to slow down in your life. And how I did this was I started researching slow living Pinterest board, and it gave me so many ideas and tips of how to reconstruct my mind into living more slowly in the moment, in the present, and this allows me to have a more thankful heart towards God in the everyday. And so really take life slowly and in the present, and make sure what is truly the top focus of productivity in your life is loving other people, because that's what really counts for eternity. And if you do that, I promise you, your life will be so much better and you won't spend it in vain. Right now, I'm planning to head to one of my friends' houses. We usually get together on Tuesdays and have some girl time, watch some TV, so I'll take you guys along. My last tip is to prioritize rest. Life is not just about getting things done. God created the Sabbath for a reason. It is so important just to kick back sometimes and just take a break. I like following after the pattern of the Sabbath, where I'll take a day in my week not to work, not to do homework, not to do any of that stuff, but to truly just take a break from everything and rest. And it is something to look forward to, and That should be a day where you can really just refuel and recharge yourself.